Before I begin, if you wouldn't mind doing me the honor of smashing the living crap out of that subscribe button and the notification bell so that more of me show up in your feed, I would really appreciate it. And I would doubly, nay, triply appreciate a look over at patreon.com/AdamDoesMovies. That's where the upper class goes to really taste the finer things in life that I have to offer, such as exclusive movie reviews every month, vlogs depending on your level of support, and you can even get a shout out like several do at the end of all my future videos. Those are the kings, the real creme de la creme. Let me just slowly bring up the silver play button plaque that I got for... No, it's not here yet, but we did it. We hit 100,000 subscribers on the channel. Let's go! Oh my gosh, what a project. What an absolute project it's been. Hope you guys are having a good night. Yeah, we're running a couple minutes behind schedule. It's okay, short for schedule, of course. Couple things coming up on the channel before we just do a grill and chill. I grabbed my water and I did not take a drink. Didn't even take a sip. It was just a tease for later, I guess. My beak wasn't ready for it. Couple of things coming up on the channel. Number one, I'm almost done editing my 15-minute spoiler video on The Electric State, the Chris Pratt, Millie Bobby Brown chestnut that we all watched, we all loved, we all celebrated. We have a big movie coming out this week, Snow White. Yeah. Everybody's pumped for Snow White. I have to see it. I hate all the live action remakes. I can't imagine it's going to be a good time, but I have to go. It's just important. It's really important. Maybe my daughter will join me. Maybe Olivia will come. I'm not sure. We'll find out. I don't have my glasses on. I just realized I do not have the readers. So we are going to zoom in. We're going to zoom in for super chats today and for just, Q&A stuff. Other things of note. Twilight, we are on the last leg of the Twilight saga. I have not watched it yet. I'm very excited for part 2, Breaking Dawn. It's so sad that I know the titles of these films now. If someone were to come up to me, tears in their eyes, and say, "Sir, Adam, sir, could you please tell me the names of the Twilight films?" I could easily reply to this peasant, "Oh, of course, we have Twilight, we have the Twilight Saga, New Moon, we have Eclipse, we have Breaking Dawn Part 1 and Breaking Dawn Part 2. How depressing. Shout out to Vicky on Patreon for making me watch these films. So yeah, maybe I'll get to that one this week. I'm not making any promises there. It'll come out next week for sure. On the Patreon side of things, I have a review for a movie I just watched. Oh, thank you, Connor. Appreciate that. I was actually hoping you were Mom because I can't remember the name of the movie I watched with her. Whatever the free offering is on patreon.com/AdamDoesMovies, it's a horror film. It was a Shudder exclusive. I watched it. I'm going to give you a review on that. So if you are not signed up over on Patreon, become a free member. And that way you get at least one free monthly movie review over there. And if you become like a $5 tier member, you get 2, $10, you get 3. And the highest tier gets all of that plus the exclusive vlog a month. So there's a lot of offerings, and it's just a nice way to show your support to the channel. Okay, so yeah, Electric State tomorrow, spoiler video. Snow White on probably Friday, maybe Thursday night, we'll see. Maybe Twilight on Saturday. I'm not sure. Why is Lindsay messaging me now? Oh my God, what is going on? Connor, why is your mom messaging me? Just tell me the name of that movie, I bet. When Evil Lurks. That was the movie. When Evil Lurks. Thank you, Lindsay, from afar. I'm glad she's watching the stream. Now I know I have to censor myself. All right, we have a shot out of a cannon super chat for $3.50 from Alex. Thank you, Alex. I appreciate that. And we have an even more out of a cannon shot from Paul Bros for Never for $10. Paul Bros, nice to see you. Huge congrats, Adam. Was actually watching an old stream with your wife ranking Disney princess movies. Is there one ranking your wife gave that hurts you more than the others? Yeah, she was vicious in that live stream ranking the Disney movies. I've never seen someone so pissed off about classic animated films than I did with her. That was insane. And people say that I'm tough on films. Oh my God. My family is brutal. They do not hold back. Out of theater review for Snow. I think you can expect an out of theater for that one. Let's go back and look since the super chats are completely dried up already. Lilo and Stitch remake. Thoughts? I hate it. I hate it. Why do I have all my messages set up and flying at me? Now I got my bros, my buddies messaging me. Adam does movies, wears glasses. Yeah, I do. I wear readers. They're not prescription. They're just to read. Okay? I don't like the live action remakes from Disney. I don't like them. I made that very clear. Made it Billy crystal clear, as a matter of fact. If they made them and they were different and unique and had a different spin on it, sure, of course. They did that with The Jungle Book years ago, and I liked that one. That was good. Since then, though, it's just been these ugly recreations of something much better. Lilo and Stitch, I'm seeing a lot of people going, this one looks pretty good. They're doing it justice. Are you out of your mind? No, they're not. It looks like shit. I can't do that. I can't do it. All right. We're going to be positive today. It was hilarious in your 100K video when Sean Chandler accidentally said congrats on all the sex instead of success. Yes, that was... I like that he at least called himself on it. What was more bizarre is how I'm known as Angry Adam in their household. It was funny. Both he and Cody's little congrats speeches started out with like a hint of almost negativity towards me, but then it kind of took a left turn where Sean's wife complimented me about the Twilight rants. So it was just a little all over the place, but they were both very funny. I liked all the people that sent stuff in. They were great. Dang, you didn't answer the question about which ranking your wife gave of the princess movies hurt you the most. LMAO. Do you think I remember? What was that, like 5 years ago? 3 years ago? I don't remember that shit. I know she doesn't like The Lion King, so that already cut me deep, Shrek. I'm pretty sure she's not even... No, I think she likes Beauty and the Beast. She didn't like almost anything. It was bizarre. I felt like she was playing devil's advocate just for playing devil's advocate. She didn't like... Stop. I swear to God. Stop texting me. Stop texting me! I'm getting a hit from every side with texts. They're coming on the phone. They're going on the computer. I'm getting scolded in real time. You didn't answer the guy who sent a nice super chat. You didn't answer his question in the comment section. Notice. I don't backseat drive. All right? You can backseat drive when you get 100,000 subs. This is going to be the thing in this house for the next ever. It's always going to be, hey, did you take out the garbage? Hey, did you get 100,000 subs on YouTube? I'm going to milk the crap out of it. I was joking with someone how like the professional YouTubers and whatnot, they'll have the plaque off in the corner if they even show it. Some of them are too good to even put it up. But when you get that silver play button, they'll have it in the background. They won't even address it. It's like breathing to them. It's nothing. They got it in like 3 weeks. It's done. I feel like I need to just address it almost every video or be like, hey, sorry, the glare from the silver play button is affecting how I'm, talking to you. Maybe just like have it in the intro, just really be obnoxious. Super chat's pouring in right now. Shot out of the largest cannon you could possibly imagine. Adam is Fiverr. What? Adam is Fiverr. Okay. Adam is forever. $20. My wife and kids have gone to every live action Disney movie. My daughter actually refused to watch Snow White, and she is 9. She hates There Is No Love Story. My wife actually agrees. I didn't find it to be such a huge part. I'm not going to lie to you, out of all the live action remakes, I say that because there's a lot of CG and animation in them still. I don't care about Snow White almost at all. I'm not a huge fan of the animated classic. I don't hate it. I just don't think about it. I'm 42 years old. I'm not up at night going, oh God, I hope they don't ruin the preciousness that is Snow White and the Seven Dwarves. It was never really much of a thing for me, even when I was a kid. I didn't care for the movie that much. I thought it was kind of bizarre that this chick's in the middle of the woods hanging out with a bunch of weird dudes. I don't know. It wasn't for me. So going into this one with very low expectations already might actually be a benefit. Thank you for the super chat. I appreciate it. Salty Bay, $3.94 for $5. A beautiful super chat. LMA, laughing my ass off. That's what that's short for. That's short for LMAO. This rant is hilarious. Keep being you, Adam. What is your favorite of the live action Disney remakes? Is this the theme tonight? Live action Disney remakes. My favorite of the crap, I think I'm gonna go with Jungle Book, mainly because it was The Lion King. They kind of changed the plot quite a bit. It didn't really have a Jungle Book feel to it. It was really dark. The kid, what's his name? Mowgli, Mo Money, More Problems. He's off in the woods away from the crew. I don't know. I enjoyed it quite a bit. My daughter reviewed it. If you saw my hour-long self-congratulatory, masturbatory video when I hit 100,000 subs, that's up on the channel. Feel free to watch it. It took me a stupid amount of time to make. And I'm kind of proud of it. I'm not like fully proud of it. There was more I wanted to do, but I'm kind of proud of it. And it was fun looking back on 14 years of a off and on roller coaster time here on YouTube. It's like a different world. So Jungle Book is my answer because I don't care about them at all. Rob Kate for $5. Thank you, Rob. Congrats again on the 100,000 subs, Adam. Is there any movie you refuse to review because you may object to the content? Not that I know. I mean, there's like straight propaganda movies out there. What was the 3,000 Mules or 300 Mules one by Vivek Ramas something. I think he did it. I don't know. I don't know enough about any of these things, but there's obviously propaganda movies that have a huge slant. They're not worth my time. I don't object to the content based on, like it's too violent or too adult or whatever. I eat that up all day long. But no, I guess I would draw the line when something is clearly just headed down one road and there is a definite agenda there, and it doesn't seem like it really took into account facts or all the information, and it just wanted to say this piece and be done with it under the guise of a entertaining film. Ya boy, 1299 for $5. Thank you, ya boy. Congrats, Adam. I'm actually shocked how much hate new movies seem to be getting recently. Do you think there is a reason why? I don't know what you mean by new movies recently. Like The Electric State, yes, that one got a lot of hate, but I don't think it was good. So I thought it was just. But I liked Novocaine just recently. And I gave it a fresh on Rotten Tomatoes. I also liked Companion. Gave that a fresh, a month or so back. I liked Heart Eyes. Gave that a fresh. I mean, maybe you're just speaking in general terms to other critics. But as for my channel, I've been giving a lot more positive reviews lately than I have negative. It's just the negative ones tend to feed through the algorithm a lot more. It's possible you're not seeing the positive ones and just the negative stuff is rising to the top, because that's what happens across every sort of type of medium, it seems like. or every type of material is just, oh, let's go to the rage bait because that sells better. I think there's still plenty of good movies being made, not so much going to Netflix or other streaming services, but in the theaters you can find them. Black Bag I reviewed last week, really enjoyed that one as well. They're there. Sometimes you just have to look, and they're typically not very popular ones. I don't think my Black Bag review did very well as far as views go. Nobody knows what that movie is even. Thank you for the super chat. Champion for $2. I'm back, baby. Congrats on 100K plaque coming. Yeah, so how it works, I've been informed, is YouTube will send me a message on my admin area of YouTube, the creator studios, and it'll say, you've done it, you hit the milestone, apply here, and then I will fill out the information they need. Then it supposedly takes anywhere from 2 to 4 weeks for them to handcraft, chisel the name in, do the embroidering, the stenciling, get the 4-karat gold lettering to look really nice, polish it, send it off for an inspection, and then it'll eventually make its way to me. It's a big deal. It's a really big deal. But I have not gotten the notification yet. So the process is still very early on. We're still in our infancy as far as the moving the needle on that. Per. Yeah, that's right. For $10, thank you, Per. Brave of you to post something in my throat. Hang on, sorry. That's why the water's there. Let's try this again. Brave of you to post this when Daredevil Born Again airs. Do you think Avatar 3 and 4 will have the same success of Avatar 1 and 2? After Avatar 2, I feel like they will all be huge. Yeah, they will. I foolishly, in my lack of infinite wisdom, like there was different variables at play when Avatar 2 came out. It was still very much on the ends of COVID and people going out to the theaters. Theaters were not trending up as far as attendance. I don't know why I ever thought Cameron could do any wrong. I remember putting out a video saying I'm concerned that Avatar 2 is not going to do well, but oh man, was I wrong. Jeez, Cameron served me up a heavy dose of humble pie, and I ate it all proudly. I don't like Avatar 2. In fact, I think it sucks. That doesn't matter. These movies are going to make a ton of money. They do a killing in China. The China box office alone can hold up pretty much all ships. That was made clear by Naja 2, which is an animated film. That's the #1 highest grossing animated film of all time. It made over $2 billion in China alone. And it had a limited release here. I drove a total of 6 hours, 3 there, 3 back to watch it. And it was definitely worth my time because 1, it was really good. And 2, probably gained 1,000 subs just from reviewing that video. So there's a lot of appetite in the China market for movies. Avatar will do very well every time, as long as the China vote goes out for it. All right, Travis F for $9.99, a gorgeous $9.99 super chat. Hey, Adam, can't stick around to watch the live chat, but wanted to pop in and say congrats on 100K. Your Twilight roasts were laugh out loud hilarious. Good. I'm glad that people are enjoying the roasts. They don't do great numbers, mainly because they're not new, the Twilight movies are not new, and I don't think it's ever trending anymore, but someone, Vicky reached out on Patreon and threw me some cash and said, please roast these. So I did. I appreciate her for that. And I did roast, a year ago, I was doing them. I had a lot of requests come in. I did Cats. I did the Ninja Turtles, Michael Bay movies. I don't think I ever did a Transformers. That would be really fun to do, a couple of those. There's a lot of them that I want to do, but there is a whole playlist. I highly recommend checking out the playlist because those are some of my favorite videos that I've done. The roasts, I write the entire script out. Once in a while, I'll ad-lib as I'm recording it, but for the most part, it's pretty much verbatim what I write. And I watch these movies. I pause like every 15 seconds and make a joke. And sometimes I use it, sometimes I don't. Lindsay tried watching them with me a few times. I was getting annoyed by how much I had to pause. And yeah, it's a thing. It's work. but it's work that I'm proud of. Super chats are awesome. Bolby for $5. Thank you. Do you think Marvel can reach the heights of Endgame again? I hope they can get that spark back. I'm not good at predictions, although I'm really good apparently at Oscar season. I'm really good at those predictions. But when it comes to the success of a film in the box office outside of Avatar, I think I'm pretty confident on that. It's hard to know with the Avengers stuff. I think Avengers, the name is still huge worldwide. So I do think that those two new movies, or whatever this thing's going to be, the Doom thing, is going to put up big numbers. Now, as far as the quality, I don't know. It sounds like, if the rumors are to be true, they're pulling in like everybody into this movie. I don't know how much of that is true, and I don't know if you can sustain the hype of a movie when you've already put it into the stratosphere. As far as, oh my God, they're pulling in all these, everybody's coming back. All the X-Men are in this. All the DC characters are in this now. Henry Cavill's Superman's in it. Gal Gadot's Wonder Woman. They're all coming here somehow. Roger Rabbit's going to be in the film. People love him. I don't know why he's in this, but it's a choice. After watching The Electric State, the Russos directed, I did not see The Gray Man. I heard mixed things on it. I did not see the Extraction movies, which I heard are good. But I haven't heard anything great coming out from them since Infinity War. And I'm one of the few people that doesn't think Endgame is near as great as everyone else. I think that it was a very satisfying conclusion with a lot of bad moments and terribly handled character choices. See Hulk, see Thor for those. Even the Gamora Quill stuff was pretty sloppily handled. But overall, those are two very special movies, obviously, that are the end cap to 27, 28 films in a saga. It's going to be hard to touch that again, especially when the new breed, the new class, has not been very good. For every Spider-Man No Way Home, you get an Eternals or a Thor Love and Thunder. There's just too many bad mixed in with the good stuff. It'll be interesting. This wasn't really an answer. It was more of just a long-winded rant or ramble, I suppose. I am interested, though. I'm very interested, and I refuse to believe that Robert Downey Jr. is coming back as Doom and not an Iron Man variant of the character. There's no way he's not Tony Stark in some sense of the word. They kind of hinted at that recently. The Russo brothers said the only person that could pull this off is Robert Downey. People might be reading into it, but I think that there's something there. The Matt's channel for $5. Thank you, Matt's channel. Congrats, Adam. Great channel. What was your favorite feud, and what do you want to see for the Batman Part 2? I'm watching Pennyworth, Alfred TV show. That's a real thing? Is that real? There's an Alfred TV show? They did that joke in the Teen Titans Go movie. Teen Titans Go to the Movies, I think it was called. There was a scene in that where they were making fun of DC and all their spin-off stuff, and they did one that was on the Bat Belt and I think the Batmobile, and then I'm pretty sure Alfred was one of the spin-off jokes, and so they've now made that an actual thing. That's comical. My favorite movie feud. God, that's actually really challenging. I have a lot that I look back on fondly. I didn't mention this in the 100,000 video I put out yesterday or the day before, but I also had a spiritual successor to movie feuds called Real Rivalries. It lasted, I want to say, around 60 episodes, and that was exclusive to Screenwriting back when they were a credible company, as much as they could be. I did all the stuff over there, wrote, directed, starred in that show. And it was essentially movie feuds, just rebranded. And I did a lot of good stuff on that. I'm actually really proud of Real Rivalries, especially when that started to get going towards the end. I thought I was firing on all cylinders, doing a lot of fun jokes and things. But as far as movie feuds goes, my favorite episode out of the 200 some I've done, that would be I don't know if I haven't thought about it, to be honest with you, in a very, very, very long time. I think the new ones I did when I tried to bring it back after it was basically shut down for 2 or 3 years and Real Rivalries was done. There was a Predator versus Prey movie feud that I did that I loved. I just thought the production was really good. I thought my jokes were solid. It was just a very good production. As far as like a fond memory one, though, it's hard for me to say. Unfortunately, I don't have a great answer for you right now. Maybe ask me next week again, and I will. I'll have a better answer for you. I'll look back on it. Dinkinator for $2. Any movies you are too scared to watch? No. Every time people say this movie is going to be so scary or people won't be able to contain themselves, it's just always a letdown. I don't know if there's ever been a movie where I was really... No, there was. So VHS, the first VHS, and I think horror movies totally depends on the setting. If you're in a theater, it's empty, or, you know, you just have to have the right elements around you. If you're watching a horror movie in the middle of the day, eating a pizza, drinking some soda, and the lights are all on and the sun's shining through, yeah, you're probably not going to get the full scope of the scares. But for some reason, VHS, I remember watching that with Lindsay. I think we were in bed. Lights were off. It was like a good vibe for it. And the first or second VHS thing was this vampire chick. And that was pretty disturbing. I was not expecting it to go so hard. So VHS had some good moments for sure. I think that was like legitimately the most freaked out I was in a while. Actually, a funny one, now that I think back, when I remember seeing Jeepers Creepers in the theaters, like way back in college, because I'm young. And when they get down into the cave right away after they get ran off the road, that's a really intense scene. I remember getting a little bit creeped out during that. That first Jeepers Creepers is pretty solid, especially that ending. Oof. Poor Justin Long. The Fourth Horseman for $2. Thank you, Fourth Horseman. Roast Shades of Grey movies next. I think Vicky teased that she might fund the 50 Shades franchise. I think she teased that. That might be, she might answer that call, because I'm not doing roasts just for charity's sake. They don't do that well. They don't perform that well. It's nice to have evergreen content on the channel, meaning content that's not necessarily of the times, but that people can go back and watch later. Now, obviously, all my reviews and stuff are available forever, but there's something different about the roasts with all the movie clips in there, and they kind of act as a play-by-play to the movies. They're a substitute and also just kind of a stand-up comedy hour going over some really bad movies. They have a different type of staying appeal than I think a lot of my content does. That being said, the amount of work it takes just to make them is not worth my time unless there's a little extra bank in the piggy. Did I just make up that term? A little extra bank in the piggy? I don't know if I've ever heard that before. I should remember that for whenever the hell I could even use it. Dinkinator's back for $5. Thank you. I also wanted to ask, since you are a family man, I'm a family guy, are there any movie genres you, your wife, or the kids love that no one else in the family likes? Yes, my wife is not a fan of musicals, although she loved the living hell out of Wicked. After she watched it, and I'm pretty sure she teared up a few times, maybe openly wept. I wasn't for that, but she watched it with my daughter. After that, it was on for like a week straight on the TV, just playing in the background. It was comfort food for her. And you can do worse on comfort food. It's a solid movie. But she does not like La La Land. She refuses to watch more than 10 minutes of it just because she doesn't like that kind of singy-songy pageantry going on. I think, but she likes Grease. I think it wins her back when, no, you know what? There's no rhyme or reason to her with the music in the movies. That's an Achilles heel. Whenever there's a TV show that has a musical episode, it's an instant turn. She won't even ask. She'll just instantly skip it. Scrubs has a musical episode or two. She won't watch them, refuses. It's a sad state of affairs. As for the kids, Olivia has definitely grown out of the bro action type movies. She still loves herself some John Wick, but she doesn't watch the Blade movies. She can't get into those. That's where Connor and I like to live. Even Lindsay likes the Blade movies. So Olivia definitely, she kind of tunes out on the superhero side of the action stuff. We all have our little quirks and things. Lindsay and the kids like some of the schmaltzy shit like Prancer from the 90s or 80s, whenever the hell that came out, and some of those kind of Lifetime-esque made-for-TV movies that somehow got a theatrical release. They're really into that stuff. I can't do it. I refuse. I'm too angry. I'm angry at him, again, according to the Chandler house. Sean Robertson for $4.99. Thank you, Sean. Congrats. Hope your plaque is made from a melted Amelia Perez Oscar. Man to woman, woman to man, penis to vagina, vagina to plaque. I changed it. Thinking Death of a Unicorn for birthday movie, worth it or not? I think it's going to be good. It's A24. They've been popping a lot lately. It's got a cool, fun, unique concept. You got Paul Rudd in there for the comedy. Yeah, I think it's going to be a good time. I don't think it'll be amazing, but I think it'll be a fun watch. I haven't seen it myself. I'm not special. I don't get invited to these things. Although when I do move back to Minnesota in June and I get my new thing set up, hopefully it'll be a seamless transition. You won't even know what happened. You'll just see me here one day, and then the next video will show up the next day, and the room will be kind of different again. It'll be changed dramatically, and there'll probably be a terrible echo because I'm going to be in a cement basement again with no sort of like acoustic control, and I'll have to spend a month trying to figure that out, and there'll be some trials and tribulations, but damn it, it'll be fun. It's always fun setting up a new studio, doing it all over again, right as you get everything figured out the first, third, 15th time around. All right, let's move on. But yeah, as I was saying, when I get back to MN, I think I know there will be a lot more potential to get early screeners. And I believe in April, I can apply to officially be in the Movie Critics Guild or whatever it's called, the Critics' Choice something. I'm not sure what it is, but it's a good thing. I need to get on the ball and make sure to apply for that. Michael Hunt for $5. Thank you, Michael. Not trying to hate, but I think Superman is going to be a major failure. There's so much riding on it and way too many heroes in it to outfit. Wait, this is... Mike, you're all over the place. I'm trying to make sense of it. I know what you're saying. There's way too many heroes. The outfit looks awful. Yeah, the trailers are not great. But I have a saying here. We have a saying on Adam Does Movies. In Gunn, we trust. In James Gunn, we trust. He has not failed us yet. I don't believe he's made a bad movie yet. Let's let him cook. Let's let him cook. But I am not disagreeing with you. There are some stuff that's kind of sketchy in those trailers. It does look a little bizarre. It looks off. I don't know. At the end of the day, it's about the characters and it's about the story. And if he nails those and some of the goofiness is just goofy, I'm okay with goofy. I'm very much okay with that. If it leads to some fun hijinks and great story arcs, then yeah, bring it on. Bring on the silliness. Bring on the pageantry. I do agree. There's a lot of characters, a lot of stuff going on. I am hopeful. I'm telling myself that a lot of that in the trailer is a whole bunch of like montage noise. I think a lot of that's part of a montage where we're establishing Superman and we're establishing that there are other superheroes that have fought alongside him in the past. And then we're going to get that kind of montage-esque shot. I don't know, but I think so. Thank you, Cade. Cade Marsh just texted on my phone. It's interesting. I have my phone set up over here with a camera on top. And I'm getting messages coming on my phone, which is really distracting. And I don't like it. But, you know, I got one from my my nephew Cade, who said he likes my reading glasses. I don't know if there's some sarcasm behind that, maybe some biting sarcasm, but I'm going to take it at face value and say, thank you, tip the fictitious hat. Cody Bishop for $4.99. Thank you, Cody. Russo brothers are better at playing with other people's toys. IP, short for intellectual property. Subscribe for knowledge, but not very good at creating their own IP. Short for international. I screwed it up. Short for international people. Also, congrats. Thank you. Yeah, well, I mean, I don't know. I mean, other toys. I don't know anything outside of the Avengers, but yeah, well, we'll see what they can do. We'll see. We'll see if they can do it again with all the toys in their toy box now. Katniss is my itch. I know what she's saying. Oh, I see the censor. Katniss is my bitch, she says, for $5. Huge congrats. I feel like most years I have 3 to 4 movies I am really excited for, but this year, all I'm excited for is Wicked Part 2 and Avatar 3. Hang on. Avatar 3? Oh, you must mean Avatar The Last Airbender, because they're doing a brand new third thing for that. And I think it's going to follow Twin Avatars or something, the animated show. I love Avatar, love Legend of Korra, and I'm excited for this new one, just like you. Avatar The Last Airbender 3 is, of course, what Katniss is referring to, and not the incredibly terrible Avatar movie franchise. I'm joking. I understand a lot of people love those movies. They're spectacles, for sure. They're spectacles. They're rides that you appreciate in the theater. Other people appreciate. I not so much. I like the first one. And now I like it a lot less after seeing the second one. Wicked Part 2? Yeah, I'm in. I'm in for Wicked Part 2. I'm with you. Also, Katniss is awesome. I love Katniss Everdeen as well. And those Hunger Games movies are solid. Not so much. The first one, but they get better, I think. Shadow Humor for $5. Clark Kent, what's up? Where's Adam? Oh, I'll get him. Hang on a second. Hey, Adam, could you come here for a second? Oh, yeah. What's up? How's it go? Oh, hey, I didn't see you come in, Shadow Humor. You were talking to Clark. Okay, I'm done. It's too late. I can't do shtick. Thank you. Oh, by the way, thank you, Shadow Humor. Champion for $2. Very, very provocative photo here. Who is that? Something Rocks? I don't know. I don't know who that is. Are you watching any TV shows? Running Point is fire. Yes, I'm watching Severance. And I can't tell if I love it, if I'm annoyed by it, where I'm at, but it's very entertaining. We're on season 2. I only think we have we're halfway through season 2, I believe. I'm digging it though. I'm digging it. My only worry is that it's turning into a Lost situation where it's just throwing a bunch of bullshit out and they don't really have an answer. But Ben Stiller, who directs it, some of them, and I think he's one of the creative guys behind it. I trust him. He's made a lot of good stuff over the years. I haven't heard of Running Point. Is this woman in Running Point? Because then maybe I'll check it out. You know nothing, Jon Snow for $5. Since your daughter has a channel, why not do a team-up review with her? Maybe in the new house we will do just that. I want her to stick with it for a while, keep going, and if she enjoys doing it in another 3 or 4 months, then yeah, we'll absolutely do a team up. We'll do some sort of a combo video. This is just a crap house for it. It's just not ideal where we're at. But our new place is going to be better when it comes to having spaces that we can make our own. I can actually have like a studio that's not just where I'm at right now is I'm essentially right next to the kitchen. My family is just out of earshot. They're in earshot, but it's bad. It's bad. I can be more of a dumbass in the new place. That's the idea. Oh my God, oh my God, Lindsay's texting me again. She's scolding me for commenting on the pretty looking character. Keep in mind, right before I went live, she was upstairs with my daughter showing her the Bat Boys, as they call them, from Akatar. So, I mean, I'm the asshole, but they're upstairs looking at AI generated images of shirtless vampire men or whatever they are. I don't know. I'm not up with the books. Okay, we got a big one here for $9.99 from Quinn1271. Shot out of a cannon. Hi, Adam. I enjoy the honesty of your work. That's amazing, because I've been lying the entire time. I am curious if you've developed a profile of the type of film that you tend to find enjoyable to experience or reaches a level of artistry you admire. Quinn has given me far too much credit. I don't have like I don't have like a checkbox of things that I bring to the theater, although that would be absolutely hilarious if I showed up with a suit and I had like a little satchel. I pull out a clipboard. I have these on, of course, because you have to, and then I go up to the counter. I'm here to see Snow White, and I have a lot of things to say about it. We're going to be looking for a lot of things in this film. Obviously, everybody's got their own preferences, and I could pretend mine are more objective than the next, but I really think movies, art, I mean, pretty much anything across the art spectrum is going to be subjective at the end of the day. One man's trash, which to me would be like most of the Fast and the Furious movies, is another billion man's treasure. Like I roasted the Twilight movies, and those have a massive amount of fans. I think they're terrible. Who cares though? So I guess my rubric, my Stanley rubric, if you will, is my profile, my taste palette is, what is it doing for me, and what do I think it will do for others? And so I try to approach my reviews that way. Hey, this is what I thought of the movie. This is what you can look for in this film. Might be something you're into. There's a lot of action, a lot of explosions, good amount of swearing, violence, nudity, whatever. So maybe steer clear if that's not your thing, or if it is, this is going to work. This is going to work every time. But no, sometimes it just doesn't hit. There's movies that come out where I think this is going to be exactly what I'm looking for. It's the trailer's presenting a very creative vision. It's got a unique premise. You got actors I like. You got a director I respect. And then I go to the movie and it just fails on every level. And sometimes it just comes down to the vibes that the movie's putting out. The jokes aren't landing right. The tone isn't hitting me. And that's where I think it just really becomes a more personal, subjective thing at the end of the day. But my approach is, I'm not right. It's just what I'm getting out of it. And you'll agree or you'll disagree. I mean, so many people kind of almost, I don't even know what to say. Like a backhanded comment would be like, Adam, I love your channel. I've been watching you a long time. Don't always agree with you. In fact, we don't agree a lot of the times on movies, but really appreciate your hard work. Thanks. Did you have to say that? Okay, $10, Matt D Mixes. Congrats on the big 100K milestone, Adam. Well deserved. Have you considered adding a scoring system to rate your movies you review at the end of your videos? From Manchester, people ask me this I feel like every month or two I get asked. They come up to me, of course, pleading, tears in their eyes. Sir, Adam, sir, would you please put a scoring system at the end of your videos? How else am I going to know? How else am I going to be able to discredit you if I can't say Adam gave Despicable Me 2 a 9 out of 10, but he only gave Barbarian a 3 out of 10? They just get used as fuel so often. And it's really hard because movies really are graded, I think, on, I don't want to say a curve, but it's a case-to-case basis. You look for different things when you go to a Moana than you do when you go to, Schindler's List, for instance. They're going to have different things for different people, and they need to be graded according to, I think, the audience and just the quality that they provide on their own. So scoring system, if I did one, which I have done in the past, Carside Reviews had a 1 through 10 scoring system. And there was even points, you know, like 10 point, or not 10, 7.5. I would do the 0.5 increments. Yeah, it's fine, but at the end of the day, it just doesn't matter that much, because it's like, okay, if it's a 7.5 out of 10, a lot of movies are going to fall in the 6 to 8 range. I find value out of a lot of movies, so it's kind of a boring thing. Way back when I had my original movie feuds with Corey, I would have like a stupid scoring system where I would give Jurassic Park 25 raptor claws out of 25. And it was just stupid, really dumb. And maybe I'll do something like that where it's just kind of nonsense. Spooky Jarner for $5. Which series is the worst? Hunger Games or Maze Runner? Maze Runner. Not even hesitating. I don't mind Hunger Games. I brought it up earlier. I actually, you know, they're rough. The second one I think is peak. The second one's really good. Third one's fine. I think there's 4 movies because they did the stupid last book into 2, which they did not need to do at all. 3 and 4 are not too shabby either. They got better. They peaked at 2, but 3 and 4 are improvements over 1 for sure. 1 is, I really think, the ugly duckling and kind of the rougher of the 4. And again, this is a perfect example of disagreements, subjectively speaking, because I know plenty of people that think the series peaked at 1 and it got worse as it went on. They liked the rawness of the first and the shaky cam, and no, I found it to be kind of disoriented. How do you say that word? Disoriating and ugly. Targaryen Boss for $10. Thank you. Been watching since your first reviews years ago. So happy to see the success. I was wondering, is your whole family really into movies? Would your enjoyment of movies change if none of them were? No, my enjoyment wouldn't change at all. But also, you know, this is a movie household. I am the father and I am around. And Lindsay loves movies as well. So it would be almost impossible for them to not at least enjoy watching movies, just because it's the environment they're in. However, we don't like force the kids to watch movies. If they don't want to partake in movie night, sometimes they'll go off and play a game or go in their rooms, listen to music or whatnot. I don't want it to be like a punishment to enjoy a movie, but I also do want them to check out some really good ones. So we will make an effort to sit them down and see if they can at least give films a chance that we really liked, that we grew up with, that might be a little older to them. And I would say 9 times out of 10, they come away very impressed and very, very much enjoying the film. Olivia, obviously, she's got her channel, so she's gotten into movies a lot more in the last year, I would say. There was a couple years where she kind of veered off and she wanted to focus more on just hanging out with friends and doing that whole thing. But now she's really digging movies again. And Connor just loves sitting in front of the TV, no matter what he does, playing video games or watching movies. Any excuse he can have to just lounge around a little bit longer, he's all in for it. But I do enjoy going to the movies with the family. We haven't done it as much out here because, again, the South Carolina theaters are just terrible compared to what Minnesota has to offer. I'm very excited to get back for the theaters, almost as much as anything else. And I miss the crap out of my friends and family. But I mean, the movie theaters over there, it's really hard for me to justify. If I had beautiful movie theaters hanging off the cliff and a good buddy hanging off the cliff, and I only have like one hand that I can use, it's a tough call. This is the Good Son scenario, if you remember that movie, to pull out a really old reference. I'm joking, obviously, but Albus Severus Potter for $10. Beautiful. Was it hard to make the video on Chris Stuckman? I was feeling everything you said about critics needing to be honest and calling out the good as well as the bad. You know, I believe I was one of the first people to make a video on his stupid ass video. And then everybody kind of jumped on board when they saw that it was picking up a lot of steam. You know, I set the trend. I really did. Cody Leach actually messaged me on Twitter and said, "Hey, Adam, you know, I kind of want to address the Chris Stuckman thing. Do you care? Like, I mean, like, what do I have a trademark on having an opinion? That's great, dude. Go for it." But just the fact that he was nice enough to even ask permission, like I had ownership over a video idea, was pretty cool. There's some really cool people in the community, I'll say that much. Stuckman, what is there to say? He wants to be a filmmaker. He is a filmmaker. He made a movie, and he wants to keep doing that, and that's amazing. I want to do that. The problem is it's kind of a have your cake and eat it too. And he started out as a critic, and he did funny videos, I think. I was never into him, and I'm not shitting on him at all. I just was never into his approach. But he had millions of fans, and he got fan funded up the wazoo to make his movie, and that's amazing. But I didn't like his content. And when he put out that Madam Web video, kind of like almost insultingly knocking critics like myself and others for bashing on a shitty movie because people worked hard on the movie. They work hard on all movies. It had such an uppity kind of ivory tower sort of vibe to it. As someone who's a full-time employee at a web firm for many, many years, this isn't my full-time job. I get criticism constantly. And what am I supposed to turn around and do? Go, well, I worked really hard on it. That's not fair for you to, that's not fair for this giant company to get upset with my work and say that it's not up to their standards or their vision, or to redo it because they don't like it, or to make 13 different rounds of changes because the ones I did previously did not quite meet the moment. No, that's necessary. You have to have that. Otherwise, what are we doing? If we allow people to just get away with whatever they want, we're going to get worse shit on Netflix. And it's already embarrassingly bad. So if you don't have any sort of critic out there that's pushing back on this stuff, regardless of whether or not they tried, because believe it or not, in Hollywood, there is a lot of movies that get made mainly to fill out the catalog. There's an expression, you do one for them, or I'm sorry, you do three for them, you do one for you. So you'll see big directors tied to some absolute trash pile because not that they wanted to do it, but they wanted to get a movie made down the road. And this was the way they had to, to make that happen. You scratch my back a few times, I'll maybe scratch yours once, sort of an adage. So yeah, I was annoyed. I was annoyed when he put that video out. I don't know, it's been a couple years now, I think. Everything's been a million years ago for me at this point. And so I just wanted to say something about it. And I think it resonated with a lot of people, which is great. My intention wasn't to just pull in all of his viewers and subscribers, but I am glad that it is scary. It is scary to do videos like that, especially with someone that's in the same kind of, YouTube space as yourself, and especially someone that's very well liked, or at least was at the time, by a massive group of people. To kind of go against the grain and to criticize the critic, that can be ugly. But I didn't mean it to be like, screw this guy, go make fun of him, attack him, whatever. No, I didn't have any of that. It's just, dude, you can't make movies and then turn around and play victim when people are annoyed that you were a critic for many years and now you've rebranded to just, I like all movies. It's lame. It's cheating. Mike says, I'm jealous of your hair. Thank you. My hair is a shit show right now. I'm going to get it cut today or tomorrow. I'm thinking, and Lindsay's probably going to be upset, but I kind of want to do the tight buzz fade up and not do a whole lot with it. Obviously thin this out and cut it a little, but I want to keep it kind of longer this time, not do such a tight cut on the top. We'll see. I mean, it's a wild time. I'm just happy that it's even growing still. There's a lot of grays, though. You can see a huge chunk of gray over here, like right there. Oh, God, what is she saying? She's still watching the stream? Oh, she's yelling no. She's genuinely the only person I have to impress. But to be fair, she also supposedly liked me with the shaved, like the buzzed head that I had for many, many years on my channel. If you watch that 100,000 video, oh my God, my hair was awful for many, many, many years. And she stood by that crap. Part of me thinks she's sabotaging. Part of me thinks it's sabotage. I don't know why, but Freddie Lit for $5. Best creature feature of the 80s. The Blob, The Thing, or The Fly. It's an easy The Thing for me. It's one of my favorite horror movies of all time. I love it. The Fly is really good, though. And The Blob, I just discussed this not that long ago. I've seen The Blob, the OG black and white one, but I was told there was one that came out in the 70s or 80s, 60s. I don't know when the hell it was, but I need to watch that one. So it's on my radar, but obviously the radar is, way off in the other side of the world. It hasn't picked anything up yet. For me, it's The Thing, though. Champion, $2. Thank you for the super chat. Do you think Anora deserved to win all those Oscars? No, but first off, I don't hate that it won them, but I just think it was a weak year for Oscar type movies in 2024. I think that it was a pretty sad state for the most part. I would have given I'm Still Here several of the awards, though. It truly was. The Brazilian film was truly one of the best movies I saw last year, and I think a lot of people overlooked it. Fernando Torres, I think is her name. I'm not sure if I'm saying that right. Fernanda Torres. I'm probably pronouncing it wrong, but Fernanda Torres was amazing in that movie, and I think she deserved to win. Demi Moore was really good. The ladies all did good. That was a really tough race, and I would have thrown in some of the horror gals, too, that didn't get any nods, like Naomi Scott. She should have been up there because, man, she put in a great performance in Smile 2. Smile 2 isn't an award-winning movie, but there was an award-winning performance in that. Evan Ellison for $10. Thank you, Evan. Just showing some love. Congrats on the 100K subs. Keep doing your thing. I'm enjoying the ride, man. By the way, I think this is my very first super chat on YouTube, and I've been on here a while. Well, Evan, this is my first time reading a super chat from Evan Ellison. We're in the same boat, and it's good company. Thank you very much. And I think I'm caught up. Let me graze over, make sure I didn't miss any. And if you want your question read or have something profound to say, please super chat it now. Otherwise, I'll jump to the regular peasant questions. Take a drink of water as I'm grazing back over the field. I think I'm good. All right, let's go to the bag. This is the smartest comment I've seen. Gina Davis, Adam needs to be an actor. I agree. If you know a casting agent, I actually did a website for a casting agent. She never cast me in anything, so I guess maybe I don't need to be an actor, although I didn't say I wanted to. But I would have imagined just from talking to her a couple times and her probably never looking at my channel, she would have instantly been like, you need to be on the TV. You need to be in pictures, sir. Strange Darling, Dune 2, best movies. I was going to bring up Strange Darling for best actress again, but I do not remember the name of the actress off the top of my head, and I didn't want to look it up. But she was very good as well. Very good. Gina, Adam, Team Ed or Team Jake, now that you're almost caught up on Twilight? Yeah, Team Edward or Team Jacob. They both truly suck. Jacob's a whiny little bitch. He constantly runs away, turning into a werepuppy into the woods, sobbing to himself, shirt off, of course. Edward, it is amazing how much of a glow up Robert Pattinson has had over the years. Because he is just terrible in the Twilight films. He mumble talks through everything. Can't understand a word he says. Bella, we have to protect Bella. He sucks hard. I'm definitely Team Jacob. And I know she's going to end up with stupid freaking Edward Cullen. He sucks. Can't believe I'm talking about this. But they both are trash. Bella's trash too, though. I mean, really, she should end up with no one. And she should just be a sad, miserable little, wreck by herself. Have you seen The Brutalist or planning to? I have not, and I am not. Adrian Brody bores the crap out of me, and a 3.5-hour movie or whatever the hell that thing is not honestly something I care to watch. Unless I hear it's, I haven't heard from anyone that it's an amazing movie either. I've heard it's all right. Some people have said it's good, but that's not, no. I'm not watching all right or good for that long of a dedicated time. Has anyone ever said you kind of look like Patrick Wilson? Is it just me? I've heard that a bunch of times, Sophia. A lot of people over the years have said Patrick Wilson, who is in the Conjuring movies, and he's in the stupid Aquaman movies. I've heard I look like Paul Feige or Feige. I've heard I look like Adam Sandler because we both have the same name, I think. I don't really see that connection. I've been told back in my prime years ago, Ryan Reynolds a lot. I've been told Chris Pratt. Those are the ones that I typically say I look like. Those two specifically, Chris Pratt, Ryan Reynolds. I think I'm maybe a better looking version of both. I've been told Bill Cosby, of course. That resemblance is uncanny. No, not that last one. Weird name to bring up too. Yeah, no, it's kind of all over the place, but I have definitely heard Patrick Wilson a bunch of times. Oddly, when I was younger, I haven't heard Patrick Wilson in the last few years when I'm, getting more to the age he seems to be presenting himself on movies I've seen. Damn, Adam just called viewers who comment without super chatting peasants. Not holding back there, or was that sarcasm? Hard to tell. Yeah, it's sarcasm. Come on. I don't freaking calling you peasants. My God, I'm joking. I have very dry, very sarcastic. I'm sorry. No, obviously, I love everyone equally. That gives me money. And those that don't, lesser, but still appreciate. No, jokes. What was it? Sean Chandler told me something like 2 or 3 years ago that he had a person comment on his channel, and they said, he brought me up on a video, and they're like, oh, I used to like Adam, but he said something mean about that he doesn't like women or something. I was clearly being sarcastic in the video when I said it, but this person genuinely thought I was serious and boycotted my channel for like 2 years. And Sean said, I think he was joking. Like, oh, okay, well, I guess I'll go check out his stuff again then. It's just wild that maybe I'm too dry at times, and for that I apologize. Sheedy for $10. Finally, we get back to the real comments again. I laid that on thick enough. What is your opinion on shows like, what was that, Dahmer? Oh, Dahmer, yeah, Jeffrey Dahmer. I thought it was such an intense watch, but I didn't think it was offensive. Seemed the victims and others thought it was not right to make a show based on him. Yeah, I heard that they didn't get permission from the victims or their family. Well, the victims are pretty much dead for the most part. Didn't get permission for the families or whatever. I don't know. Do you need to get permission for that stuff, or is it just more of a class act sort of a thing to do, like asking for the father for his husband? I can't even say the analogy. Like asking your wife's father for her hand in marriage. It's a nice gesture, but not necessary. I, of course, didn't, because I knew that answer was going to be a hell no right away. Again, I did ask. And he did say hell no right away. As far as the insultingness of it, I think it's more not so much the content. It's the fact that, Netflix is making a bunch of money on the material. And your child or grandchild or whatever could have been one of the victims. And so it does come off as maybe insulting or distasteful or whatever, because you know, it's a little salacious. People do like watching these serial killer movies, and there is kind of a sick, I guess, I don't know what the word is that it's kind of like when you see a car crash on the side of the road, people always run out to see what happened and to look at the wreck. And there's that like morbid curiosity. That's the word I was looking for. Morbid curiosity. It's 2 words, but yeah, it's challenging. I think it's a damned if you do, damned if you don't if you're Netflix, but they're also making $1 kabillion, so fuck them anyways. Also, Dahmer was fine. It started out good. I thought it kind of lost its way in the final couple episodes, and it was fine. Oh, interesting. Dennis says Adam could be the detective after the serial killer, or he could be the serial killer. Maybe both. Wouldn't that be amazing if I was solving a series of murders that I myself was committing? I have multiple. Have they made that movie? They have made that movie. Oh, it's old. I think I'm going to give it away. Okay, we'll do the game. We'll do the game. You ready? This movie exists. Maybe not quite to the extent, but the description I'm only going to give is there's a murderer out there, and a collective of people get together at a seedy motel to try to figure out who is in fact doing the deed. Let me see how long it takes for someone to come in. I wanted to be kind of vague with it because I didn't want people to get it right away. Come on, folks. You can do this. It is a little bit more obscure. Boom, there it is. Watso MD gets it with Identity, starring John Cusack and a few other great characters. Or actors, I should say. I believe Amanda Peet is in it. Is that her name? Something like that. Did I get another real chat while I was? Yeah, I did. Here we go. Sean LaCourse, of course, for $5. Thank you, Batman. Congrats, Adam. Love the ripping of movies, especially the ones I like. It's hilarious. Keep it. Oh, no, I hope I'm not bashing too many movies you enjoy. Oh, I love that he's making fun of this movie that I freaking love, jackass. Thank you. Who's walking around outside? Okay. Why aren't you in bed yet? Don't you have some dumb cartoon to watch? My daughter's creeping around. Let's see. Oh, people want another round of questioning. All right, let's see if I can do another one off the top of my sack really quick. Your Rugrats reruns is on. Oh my god. Okay, let's do one. You gotta give me a second. You make me think on the spot about it. This made me think of one. I'm gonna give you a couple water-based guesses. All right. They're going to get more difficult as they go. The first one, based on true events, featuring a door that seems far too large to only handle one occupant. Water-based. Should be pretty... Identity. Cinefanatic gets it with Titanic. Yeah. Bonus question based on that. Did they ever make a Titanic sequel? The answer may shock you. Just waiting for someone to... It's not really... It's a yes or no question. Yes. Neon Switchblade gets it with yes. They did. It was animated and had nothing to do with the original Titanic and featured a bunch of plucky cartoon animals, and it was garbage. There's probably other versions of Titanic 2 as well, but that's the one I recall. Like Titanic 2, We're Back or something, A Dinosaur Tale. Those are 2 different movies combined. All right, another water-based trivia one. This is a personal favorite of mine in the action subgenre, which would be natural disasters. Think Firestorm, sort of a situation. It features Morgan Freeman in a very unconventional role as a villain who you still kind of like in the movie. And he's doing a heist during a flood. That's what we have. People are saying Waterworld, so I'm not going to use Waterworld as an example. Water-based. There it is. Watso again with Hard Rain. Look, we just want the money. It was like the line from the trailer, and I love it. Firestorm. Do you remember Firestorm with Howie Long? So stupid. I saw it in theaters. All right, here's going to be the challenging one. And I also really enjoy this movie. It's a fun, schlocky B movie that did go to theaters, I don't think, for more than a couple days. And all I'm going to give you is it's on a Titanic, or it's not on the Titanic, but it's on a big boat like that, a cruise ship. And it features some alien creatures under the water that start destroying the thing. And the movie ends with a big cliffhanger where they make it to an island and there's a bunch of like scary monsters there too, off in the distance. And I think the lead character says, "Now what?" That's his catchphrase throughout the film. No way. No. Holy shit, Watso gets it again with Deep Rising. What is going on? That's amazing. He's the only one playing, isn't he? Yes, it was Deep Rising, a fun action sci-fi film from the, I don't know when that came out. Early 2000s, I think. All right, we have some more super chat, and then I will maybe jump into a little bit more trivia. It's kind of fun. Oh, I thought that was a different question. Matthew Fling for $4.99. Thank you. Can you please one day review Howard the Duck? It's one of my favorite. It's so bad it's good movies. Matthew, I have good news for you. Thanks to a Patreon supporter, Matthew Sclero, I believe, I roasted Howard the Duck in its entirety. You can find that roast on my channel. Go to playlists, look up movie roasts. Howard the Duck is in there. It may have two different ones. I think I did a straight up review on, I think I did a review / rant on Howard the Duck and a separate roast. Because I think Matt wanted both. He wanted it all. Tony Movie Chappie D9 Neil Blomkamp fan for $1.99. It's a name. Could you do a roast movie review of Rollerball 2002? So back in the day, like 2 years ago, everything's 2 years ago at this point, I had a roast list, which you can actually find on my Letterboxd, which I have not been up to date on for, you're going to guess how long, 2 years. I think that's legit. I have to go in and like do a big push of all the new movies I've seen. But you will see there is a list in there for movie roasts. And that Rollerball was one of them that was suggested by the community. But again, the only way I'm doing movie roasts is if people pay a little bit up front for it. So sign up for Patreon at patreon.com/AdamDoesMovies and notify me if you want a roast done, and maybe we can work something out. Because they just don't make that much money, and it's really hard to, the time investment, all that stuff. Champion for $2, thank you. Thoughts on Horrible Bosses and American Pie movies? Horrible Bosses is all right. The first half is strong. I thought it got pretty bad by the second half. I don't like Horrible Bosses 2. Again, my buddy Matt recommended it. He's only steered me wrong, I think, that one time, because I don't like the sequel at all. American Pie movies, I really enjoy 3 of them. The first 3, the trilogy's great. The one where they come back for a reunion, not so much. It lost its spark. But yeah, I think those 3 are hilarious. I don't know how well they hold up. I haven't seen them in a very long time. But yeah, I laughed my ass off the first few times I watched them. Toy Story 5 thoughts. I mean, I don't. Again, like Toy Story 4 exists. We didn't need that one. At this point, the crew is established. They're all very likable characters. We had a solid, beautiful trilogy already. Everything afterward is, I guess, just a little extra frosting. They haven't. I liked 4. I don't think any of them been bad yet. So, whatever. Easy money for the studio, and they're enjoyable enough. Oh, I don't like this. What's that red dot on your sweater? This is going to be a thing where he makes me look around like an idiot for the red dot. The red dot's none of your business. Oh, you talking about this white symbol? I can't remember what that is. It's a company. Can't remember what the company is. When will you do Breaking Down Part 2? I brought that up at the beginning of the stream. I'm hoping to get it out by the weekend. I still have to watch it, do my notes, do the jokes, film it, find the video in its entirety, download it, edit it. It's a project. But I hope to get it done by the weekend, on top of the few more reviews and stuff I have planned out. I want to say something else. I didn't put a review out because I honestly didn't think it was worth my time, and I would just piss people off. So it's kind of like a, damned if you do, damned if you don't situation. Because if I did put it out, I would get no views, and it just hurts. But I did watch the new Looney Tunes movie. I did not like it. I didn't like it. I was going to put a review out, but just even talking about it for 5 to 10 minutes and then editing and putting it out and getting a couple thousand views, and the views would be from people that clearly are fans and would just be pissed at me. It just didn't seem worth my time, so I did not review it. But I thought it was funny and good for about 35 minutes, and then it just stopped being funny and good, and it kept going. And I didn't think the animation quality was up to snuff for a big release movie. I was really let down because I was excited for that one, and it did not work for me at all. Just as an aside. Cinefanatics not going to make the Thursday movies. That's a shame. Well, I will miss you. Maybe next week. I mean, you're missing. You're missing Snow White, so I don't think you're really missing anything. And the other one they want to go to is the Mob movie. I don't know if I'm going to even go to that. I don't really care about the new Robert De Niro movie. Maybe I should. I don't know. Imran, if that's how you say that. Imran Jabber, what is the movie that got you into movies at dumb? It's 80 a.m., but that's fine. I was called dumb a few times in school. It was clever. Clever kids did that. The movie that got me into movies, I've said it plenty of times, but that's okay. I forgive you for not knowing. Jurassic Park is the movie that really got me into movies. Before that, I'd seen a lot of other films, and some of them amazing. The Superman movies, Star Wars and all that, but seeing Jurassic Park when I was 11, 12, I don't know how old I was even, that one just hit me so hard at the right time, and I was blown away by it. Which Back to the Future is the best? I say Part 2. I waffle. I waffle. That's what I'm starting saying. I waffle between 1 and 2. 3 is not even in the equation, although I still like 3. It's a far cry from the first 2. I can't decide though. I go back and forth on it. Seinfeld reference, sir. Oh, did I miss the Seinfeld reference? Oh, well, I know. Okay, but that was kind of an obscure reference to be, pointing to the cashmere sweater red dot thing, because I thought you were just messing with me, because people do that as well. Well, they'll say, "Oh, the stream's lagging," or "What's that glare?" or "What's that shadow?" or I still have the neck shadow that someone pointed out. And then they did, and then after like messing with it, I realized it's not a shadow, it's muscle, it's definition, jackass. It doesn't go away. But I understand the reference now that you say Seinfeld. That's just a really hard one. If you said like, but I don't want to be a pirate, or something a little bit more, specific. I appreciate it though. Champion, $2. Thank you. Was it hard to make your great 100,000 celebration video? Yeah, it was hard in the fact that I had to comb over 14 years of shit. I had to go through a lot of videos. I mean, I know most of my stuff, so it wasn't like I had to watch the videos, but you still have to pull all that content down. I don't have a hard drive with all my videos on it. I know some creators that like they have all of their stuff on hard drives, their raw footage even. I don't have any of it. I dump it and forget about it. So if I have to get this stuff, that means I have to use a downloader and pull it off of the internet and then edit all the clips out. Yeah, it took most of the weekend, probably a solid 12 hours of getting people's reactions, editing those in, getting all the clips, sourcing those, recording my video, trying to match things up. It was a lot of work that I put on myself because it's a once in a lifetime. I can't do this again. The next time you hit a milestone is apparently 1 million on YouTube. That's when you get another plaque. And I think it's like 0.6% of YouTube channels will ever get 100,000 subs. So it's a big deal. And it's something that for 2 or 3 years now, I was really focused on doing. Before that, I was just trying to make this channel something that I could grow. I was losing subs 3 years ago. Every time I uploaded a video, I was losing subscribers. That was really disheartening. It wasn't hard as far as, like miserable. It was just work. But I'm familiar with work. And I put it on myself. It's not like someone said you have to do the video this way. I could have just made a video just like this. Hey, thanks for watching and supporting. We did it. We made it to 100,000. All right, on to the next thing. That's not me. Doc Russo Jr. for $5. Thank you, Doc. Any updates on the Sony animated Spider-Man movie? Also, Meet the Parents and Meet the Fockers are comedy classics. The third one was terrible. Meet the Parents is freaking great. Meet the Fockers, that one's all right. I don't know if I would say it's a comedy classic. It's a good follow-up. I don't think it hit the levels of the first. Still fine, though. The third one is, that one's atrocious. Any update on the Sony Spider-Man movie? It's not even supposed to come out, I don't think, for 2 more years. I think it's scheduled for 2027 at this point. There's been no updates. Quinn's back for $4.99. Thank you, Quinn. Do you approach controversial movies with trepidation, I suppose, or potential comedy gold? Both, kind of. I reviewed The Apprentice, the Donald Trump movie, and I reviewed what was the one with that guy? I forgot his name. The one where it's a comedy movie. I can't remember where the one where what was it called? I don't know. Whatever. It doesn't matter. Yeah, anything that has a big political slant, or it's definitely going to divide people, those are always dangerous to do. And oftentimes I find myself leaning a little too critical. Like I overcorrect. And that is a problem I'm still trying to figure out, because we have such a divided, I feel like, world at this point. Definitely in America, we're divided. And I've tried my damnedest to keep my politics, my opinions on things away from the channel, because there's just too much of it out there and it's ugly. And this is supposed to be a place to have fun and talk movies. And it makes me sad that even movies became so politicized by pretty much everyone at this point, and it's a bummer. I'm not a centrist by any means. I have like staunch views, and I do have a side that I definitely gravitate towards, but that's not really anyone's business unless they're a friend of mine and they want to know, or my family, I suppose. But if you know me and my character enough and the type of person I am, you could probably guess where I sway on things. But regardless, I want to talk about movies, and yeah, I had my review of The Apprentice. I thought I was a little harder than I needed to be on the film, just because I wanted to give the appearance of nonpartisan and all that stuff. So I'm working on it still. That's definitely something I'm working on, and I really should just go all out on the humor for those videos, because at the end of the day, who gives a shit? We're all going to die. Have a good night. We're all going to die alone. We're fighting over such silly things. BAP for $19.99. I have nothing to say except Seinfeld references. Cheers, which you don't watch, and Matrix Sucks comments. My brain doesn't make original thoughts. I'm basically Bumblebee and Transformers. All my comments are quotes. Dig it? Yeah, I mean, I'm not far from you. And even when I think I have come up with an original thing, it's probably just ripping off something else. I'm basically Apple at this point. I just repackage things that have already been created years earlier and pretend like they're my own. That's why I asked when I said, put a little bank in the piggy. That's probably an expression that someone said about 1,000 years ago, and I thought I was clever for throwing it out there on the fly. Sugar Rush times 2030, $4.99. Thank you, Sugar Rush. Adam, I was wondering if you prefer a specific genre to work in as a screenwriter or any at all and all. What genre is your current script? It is a family action comedy, something that there's not much of in Hollywood. So I thought in my infinite wisdom, I would go all in on something that's not popular anymore. But I didn't go by what I thought was going to sell. I just really wanted to make the movie. And actually, it's going to be, if I do some sad self-promotion, the $30 monthly membership, you can do it for just 1 month if you're really curious, on patreon.com/AdamDoesMovies. I'm going to be going into my script, talking about it, the process I went through to make it, what it's about. I'll probably read some of it. It's in vlog format, but my vlogs are never, anybody that's at the mithril level on Patreon can attest. I put a lot into them. They're not just me in front of a camera with a plushie doll behind me or a Hello Kitty backpack or something, whatever the kids are into these days. It's a lot of different shots and editing and things like that. So yeah, that's going to be a focus for the end of the month here. I'm excited to share that. But no, I'm very excited with it. And I did start a second script, and I've had no time to work on it anymore. But that one is a comedy TV show pilot. But comedy is what I gravitate towards the most. I did write and do all the work on Movie Boss, which I shared on the channel 2 days ago on that 100K video. I love that show. I made 11 or 12 episodes with some of my bros and some friends, and that was really special to me, just to get together with those guys and film those. I've made a lot of older movies in college and shorts and things that are just no budget, stupid, but they still have a lot of meaning, and I enjoy doing that for sure. Kid Art 89 for $5. Prob a deep cut. Prob short for Bob, probably. But one of my favorite videos by you was, why haven't you watched Speed Racer yet? To celebrate your 100K, I will finally watch it. Cheers. Have you not watched Speed Racer yet? Why have you not watched Speed Racer yet? It's the only good thing Wachowskis did besides the Matrix trilogy. And even people don't like the trilogy, just like the first. I like the trilogy, but no, I love Speed Racer. It's an acquired taste. I've made that very clear. It's an acquired taste. And it tastes good to me. Elate with a terrible guess earlier in the chat. Let's see. All right, let's do a little bit more trivia. We'll let another round of super chats percolate if there's any more to come up. Let me see. What can we do? We did water-based. Okay, let's do sky-based. And this one's just going to be a simple quote. It's one people like should be hands at the ready for. Hands at the ready. This is a single quote from a sky-based movie, a plane movie, and plane is in the catchphrase. Get off my plane. Get off my plane. Is not The Last Airbender, no. There it is. Watso is just shot out of a cannon. It was Air Force One. James, he just beat you, and Eric. You guys were all there. Charlie was there. Blame the internet connection if you want. Maybe you're not fully caught up on the stream. You need to make sure that live is checked so that you're at the right spot. It's not Snakes on a Plane with Samuel L. Jackson. I am behind. Yeah, just catch up. Just hit the little live thing to make sure you're caught up. You're fighting with one hand tied behind your back. All right. Let's go with another Sky movie. And no, it's not going to be Sky Captain in the World of Tomorrow. Air Force One, more like Air Force Fun. That's what that title would have been if I did a YouTube video when that came out. Executive Decision. Oh my God. Killing off, spoiler, killing off Steven Seagal, which would be fine now in a movie, but killing him off in his peak within the first 5 minutes of the movie was some of the most bullshit marketing I've ever seen in my life. They made it seem like he was going to be all over that movie. How about Take Your Hands Off the Bunny? That's from Con Air. Put the bunny back in the box. Great movie. Nicolas Cage in his prime. Optimus Prime, really, you could say. All right, let's go with another Sky movie. I don't know why I put this on myself to make it a Sky thing. Look around the room for something. Actually, someone give me a genre and then I'll do something off of that. I could have just done Cage movies, really. Nicolas Cage is always prime. That's true. Do holiday movie trivia. Ugh. I guess I could do holiday movie trivia. Oh, I was going to say we're all counting on you. Good luck. But then Cinefanatic said Airplane 2, even though I was doing the original. I think I said this last time. Or no, you know what? I think I tweeted this at one point. But all right, here's one. This is not holiday related. It just came to me. I love this movie, so I'm going to say it. And he whispers it. He's cooking our garbage. All right, let's see if Watso can get this one first. He's cooking our garbage. He's cooking our garbage. Eric gets it with Uncle Buck. Boom. Macaulay Culkin says it as he watches Buck, played by John Candy, making what I thought was a beautiful breakfast. But to him, it looked like absolute trash. It's one of my favorite comedies. That's in my top 10. Tweedledee, tweedledee, ding, ding. Oh, it's so good. That movie's so good. Culkin's great. Everybody's great in that. It's Candy in his prime. Candy's always in his prime, too, just like Nicolas Cage. All right. God, I do know comedy. I mean, I do movies. Well, let's see. A Christmas movie. All right, here's a quick one, since we're on the subject. Another Christmas in the Trenches. It's a quote. It's a quote. Another Christmas in the Trenches. We watch this every year as a family. Home Alone 2. Alex got it first. Lacey Shaver. I didn't mean that. Evan was just behind. Please review The Day the Earth Blew Up, a Looney Tunes movie. Sean, did you just get here? I reviewed it like 5, maybe 10 minutes ago. I didn't really like it. I'm not putting out a review. I don't think it'll get any views, and it's just going to piss off people that are diehard Looney Tunes fans. I thought it was good for about half of the film, and then it completely lost me. And I have a lot of other things that I would just didn't care for about it, but overall, I was not impressed. And I was really pumped for that film. Yeah, the original Die Hard's a Christmas movie. It's totally a Christmas movie. Yes, Home Alone 2 is better than the first in my humblest of opinions. Champion for $2. Please rank 80s, 90s action stars from worst to best. Oh my God. That's insane. I think the best, and then I do it instantly. You know, I'm a sucker for Bruce Willis, mainly because he's so kind of not what an action star really is ever. He's not the most cut guy. He's kind of schlubby in a lot of his movies. He's attractive, of course, but he was never just like a Brad Pitt or a Tom Cruise. But he was so cool in every action movie he was in. I think he's awesome. I love Bruce Willis. It's really sad what has happened to him over the years with his disease. Stallone is always solid in the films. Schwarzenegger is an icon. He's classic. I think Schwarzenegger would probably be second for me under Bruce. Although it's not like Bruce had like a ton of action movies. Bruce was a little bit more dynamic, I thought, with his range. I like Snipes a lot. Jean-Claude for the more schlocky stuff. Jackie Chan for the more, obviously, fun, playful things. It's too hard to say. Mel Gibson's up there for the action. It's almost an impossible task. It's really something I would have to sit down and put pen to pad. But those are the ones that jump out immediately. Yeah, The Last Boy Scout for the win for $1.99. Thank you, BAP. The Last Boy Scout, Damon Wayans, Bruce Willis. Good flick. Good shit. And Bruce Willis dances a jig in that movie to celebrate. Always bet on black. Wesley Snipes. Hell yeah. JCVD had some classics. He sure did. Okay. A little more trivia. A little more triv. I think I'll probably run this to 11. So we have 19 more minutes. I have 19 more minutes with you. I'll do trivia in between questions. Have you seen any John Woo films like Hard Boiled? It's excellent. Yes, I've seen John Woo films. I've seen Hard Boiled. It is excellent. It's great. What was the one they just redid? He did a remake of his own movie. It was so fucking bad. The Killer. He redid The Killer, and he gender swapped to a strong female lead. It was atrocious, but the original's great. I've seen most. I think I've seen all of his American stuff, but I think he was better when, you know, it was outside of the country. Although I'm a sucker for Broken Arrow. I think Broken Arrow is hilariously fun. It's so campy and corny. Has to be on purpose. I don't care for Mission Impossible 2 very much, but it's part of the catalog, so I still can watch it. Face Off. Love me some Face Off. Yeah, I like John Woo. I like his style. Even his Christmas one from a couple years ago wasn't awful. It just was a little too long. The premise was kind of silly. It had moments. You have a favorite Scooby-Doo movie? No, I don't. But I did like there was a Scooby-Doo show that my kids really loved, and it was awesome, and it unceremoniously got canceled by Cartoon Network after 2 or 3 seasons. It was freaking good. I don't know what it was called. I think it was called Scooby-Doo Monsters Incorporated. It was a lot more serious. It had really good animation, and it had some really cool plots that carried over, like full season X-Files type arcs that would carry over. That was a damn good show. Yeah, Mystery Incorporated. It was great. That only went, I think, 2 seasons, right? Have you seen Stranger Things? Yes. I've watched all the seasons of Stranger Things. I think it keeps getting worse, but I still enjoy it enough to continue watching it. It peaked at season 1. Season 2 was pretty bad, I thought. I didn't care for the route they went, kind of making them puppy dogs more so and pets. Season 3 was a good return to form, but the show is so much larger than it needs to be. It's kind of bizarre how grand of scale they turned Stranger Things into. It felt so much better when it was kind of doing the whole Steven Spielberg E.T. style. If you look at the pitch deck for Stranger Things season 1, which is available online as a PDF, it's a beautiful pitch deck. I mean, that's what they were doing. They were just making a classic Spielbergian film, and they nailed it, I thought. And for some reason, they decided they wanted to go more an Avengers route with the later seasons, and each episode was like an hour and a half long. There was all these weird, dumb subplots that I didn't care about. Yeah, Stranger Things is just it's not doing it for me anymore. But I'll probably finish it out since I've trekked this far. What's your favorite Blumhouse movie other than all the terrible ones? I don't remember. Blumhouse does so much shit now. I don't remember. They did the Halloween movies, right? Did they do the modern Halloween movies? I would say Halloween is my favorite. Oh, shit. They got a lot of good ones. I don't know. I'd have to go through. There's way too many. I'm looking at a list right now. Get Out is fantastic. I'm looking at the list, and so far Get Out's my favorite. The Invisible Man I really liked. Halloween I really liked. Split I really liked. God, there's a lot of shit. Happy Death Day I liked. I never saw Happy Death Day 2. Heard it was good. Insidious 1 is fine. Sinister's good. Whew, they have a lot of bad stuff in between the good stuff. Oh my god, Ma was so awful. Holy shit, they made like 8 Purge movies. Oh my god, did anybody see The Craft Legacy? That looked terrible. Damn. So many bad movies by Blumhouse. They really are the McDonald's of scary movies, aren't they? Yeah, I think I'm going to go with Get Out is my favorite Blumhouse movie. That does not seem like a Blumhouse film. They didn't do Nope, though? Huh. Okay. Two seasons of that show was like crack for me. Yeah, the Scooby-Doo. Do you have a favorite X-Files episode? I really like the Tombs episodes. They don't hold up. They do. The Tombs episodes are interesting because some of it holds up fantastically. Other parts are a little on the cheesy side. But overall, it does still have a really creepy vibe to it. I like the Tombs episodes. I really thought it was ballsy. They did that Hills Have Eyes style episode. That was very disturbing. I enjoy that one. It was pulled off TV for many years. They removed it from syndication because it was just too graphic. I like a lot of the alien stuff, even though it's complete nonsense. The comedy episodes are some of the best that any show does. For some reason, X-Files does its humor better than a lot of comedies. I can't remember the names of them, unfortunately, but I remember the one where Duchovny switches bodies with a fantastic actor, and I cannot remember his name. He's from Better Call Saul, I believe. Michael something. That might be wrong. But they do like a body swap. It's brilliant. Yeah, I got a lot of episodes. I really like the Cher black and white episode. Yeah, there's a lot. We actually went through and watched them with the kids. The first four seasons, not that long ago. We were hoping to get to the movie, which I believe takes place after season 5 or somewhere around there. But there's a lot of filler, shitty episodes now that don't hold up well at all. So I almost needed to just cherry pick the good ones or go online and find the high rated ones from each season and watch those along with the alien episodes for that arc that doesn't make any sense as it goes on. I know there's some black goo episodes that are cool too. Stranger Things season 4 was the best. Each episode was like a film. Well, yeah, it wasn't. Again, it was just so far removed from how the show started. So yeah, you might be you're on board and you love the kind of more cinematic, bigger scale of the series, and that's cool. I liked it when it was more small scale. I don't think the show really ever needed to go past a season though, and that's the biggest issue, I guess, is season 1 felt so quaint and charming, and it was like a love letter to the 80s. Whereas where we're at now, it's just its own thing, and that's cool. It doesn't work for me as well. What's the most underrated series that only went one season? The first one that jumps to mind is Carnival or Carnival. It was on HBO. Just HBO at the time. It wasn't HBO or HBO Max. This was way before that. Carnival came out somewhere in the 2000s. I think it was 2000s. It only went one season, I believe. Maybe it went 2, but it was very expensive. It had a very big ensemble cast, and it was a very dark series. And unfortunately, they had to quickly wrap everything up in the finale, and it just doesn't work that way. But it was great. It was a great run. That was the first one that comes to mind. Firefly. I don't know if it might have gone a couple seasons. Maybe it was just one. Firefly was great. And the movie Serenity, which acts as a kind of the finale for the show, but also works as a standalone film, is really good. Those are the two that jump out. Do you intentionally neglect to analyzing the subplots of films to avoid their political messaging? I'm not sure subplot's the word you're looking for. And it also depends on, I guess, what I'm doing. So if I'm doing a regular review for a movie, I don't typically go into the details of the story or even the messaging of the film because I don't want to ruin it for people. Oftentimes I'll just give a top level kind of what you can find on the back of a DVD as far as what the movie's about, what you can glean from the trailer. And then from there, I'll go into more just comedy bits, or I'll talk about the action, the effects, the humor, and things that are, you're not going to know unless you watch the movie, but it's also not going to be ruining anything in the movie. When it comes to the messaging, I don't know. I get it's so boring to talk about because oftentimes it is going to lead to people going to politics or societal things that are just going to upset them. And that, again, that's not what I want to do with the channel. And also some of the times it is kind of a personal thing, whether you're pulling that from the movie or not, what the message is meant to be, as opposed to what you are dictating the message is supposed to be. People will call pretty much every movie that comes out woke now. If there's like a black person in it, it's woke. If there's a woman in it, it's woke. And then at other times when there really is a movie that I could use the word in a negative connotation, like with Emilia Perez, a movie that genuinely is about as woke as fuck. If I'm going to use the word in a derogatory sense, then it kind of loses all of its weight, doesn't it? So I just avoid kind of going into, I guess, not necessarily subplots, but definitely the messaging, as it were, because you can pull whatever fucking message you want out of pretty much any movie, and it might be what the director was going for. It might be completely off the wall. And I've seen many channels out there that will pick a movie apart before it's even out the door yet about its messaging, and they will be dead wrong by the time the movie hits, and it won't matter because they already got their views and the rage bait and whatnot. And it's boring. I brought this up not that long ago. I'm going to say 2 years because it's always 2 years. But I was watching Lethal Weapon with my son Connor for the first time, and there was a scene in the kitchen table where the daughter is drawing an earth for a school project, and she even has like a little tiny monologue about how we're destroying the planet and we needed to be more responsible. And if that scene in that movie came out now, it would be called woke. It would be the message. It would be all of these political slanted ideas and da 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 da. And it's typically not that deep. It's usually just the writer wanted to say something, and this was an opportunity for him to do it. Or they thought, hey, this character is going to be this way, and they would say this. So like, it truly sometimes just comes from a place of, I'm trying to make unique characters, and I think this is what this person would say in the scene because this is what's going on in her life. She's focused on this. Yeah, I don't bother myself with it because, again, it's people are going to read it so differently. I get this one every time. Thoughts on the upcoming Harry Potter show? I don't care. I don't care. It needs to do a lot of work to impress me. I'm going to say that much. I'm not excited for it. That doesn't mean it won't be great. But it has a ton of heavy lifting to do in order to impress me, because I think those movies are freaking amazing. I think the books are amazing. I think the theme park's amazing. So the fact that we're already going back and trying to do another version of it is kind of annoying, insulting, and comes off as just a cash grab because the Fantastic Beasts movies failed. So now they're scared to try to do anything new or different in the Harry Potter universe, even though those movies, for the most part, hold up very well and they're very beloved. It's on the same level for me as redoing the Star Wars trilogy or redoing the Lord of the Rings. There's just some movies that I think hold up incredibly well, and they have made such a touchstone, made such a mark on society as a whole, that going back to that well so quickly, even though some time has passed, of course, it still comes off as disingenuous. Like, I don't think there's a shot in hell they're going to make them as good. But I will give it I'm not giving it the benefit of the doubt. I'll give it a chance. I'll give it a chance. But I feel nothing for it. VIP for $4.99, thank you. Do you ever go to Universal Studios Hollywood before, or did you go to Universal Studios before all the rides were changed? LA 1992 best time. No, I didn't get to go on the Back to the Future ride or the Jaws boat ride or any of those iconic originals. I had only been to Disney. I went to Disney twice growing up through high school. So that was really all our family went to. I didn't live anywhere near California or Florida, so we had to fly, and it's expensive to do that stuff. A lot of families only get to do that once in a lifetime if they're lucky. But no, I unfortunately didn't get to experience those fun classic rides and just that more small, tiny vibe of it all. Although I love the shit out of that E.T. bike ride. They still have that. I know that's I think that's the only original ride at Universal Studios in Florida. And I really do like it. I love that they get the names wrong, because when you go through the ride, you get to tell the person working it what your name is. Adam is a pretty easy name to remember, and I think he fucks it up every time. One time he called me Aaron. Another time was, I don't even know, but I've never heard Adam come out of that stupid alien's mouth once. Did you finally check out Paradise? No. No, I didn't. Thank you for the $2, Evan. I'm sorry. Sorry to let you down. All right, 3 minutes left. I'm going to catch up. Have you seen X? Yeah, I've seen X. I reviewed it. It's on the channel. You can find it. I like X a lot. Is anybody else getting ads during the live? Well, you better be. You better be, because that's how I make the few bucks on these live streams that don't come from super chats. They come from those ads. So thank you for watching them. Oh, I'm way down here. Sorry. No, clown in a cornfield. Thoughts? I don't know what that is. Woke and young and ideal are very different. Well, one man's woke is another one's young and ideal. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Do you win? Do win, no, and shrinkage? I mean, I know what shrinkage is, and I know that's a Seinfeld reference. I don't know what happened with how you type that. That might be the worst constructed sentence I've ever seen in my life, BAP. Thank you for the $1.99. Shrinkage, another classic episode of Seinfeld. I was in the pool! As I stated earlier, yes, I am very much looking forward to Death of a Unicorn. I think it looks like a great idea. Cinefanatic, if you could own one piece of movie memorabilia, what would it be? Film, used, or otherwise? Oof. I mean, I would love the DeLorean out front. I'd really like to have that DeLorean. Maybe the Batmobile from Batman Returns right on the other side. Is that memorabilia? Does that count? How large can we get here? Can I do Beetlejuice's house? That would be pretty cool, bub. Get the house from Beetlejuice, bub. Wolverine's retractable claws from X-Men. Because then I can walk around and do cool shit like pop open bottle tops and have cats lick the ends of them with milk on it. A lot of specific stuff right there. I don't have anything. Oh, I'd love to have a proton pack from Ghostbusters. That would be pretty awesome. Proton pack would be pretty cool. Something from Jurassic Park. Maybe I have the animatronic T-Rex just off in the corner of the home. I'm sure Lindsay would love that. I'm sure the family would really dig that. Well, Connor would like it for sure. There's just too many things. There's too many things. That question is very loaded. Have you done live action Super Mario Brothers yet? I know I've done it in some fashion for sure. I know I did a movie Feuds with the Super Mario Brothers movie. Well, we can end on this. If I get any more super chats, I'll read them. Otherwise, here's the last one. Happy Gilmore, 2 thoughts. The trailer sucked. It wasn't funny. Adam Sandler looks bored and old as death. I don't know what the fuck people are looking at when they watch that trailer, but I thought it was terrible. And I'm actually now far less interested than the lack of interest I already had. Happy Gilmore is hilarious. It's one of my favorite comedies of all time. I'm so sick of these nostalgia bait sequels 1,000 years later, especially in the comedy realm where the comedy is completely drained. And it's like, oh, remember back in the day when I was trained out of how to do my classic hit and Shooter McGavin was my enemy. And oh, there's my daughter in this movie too. No, I think it looks terrible. Okay, I was gonna do something. What was I gonna do? Oh, Mario Brothers YouTube. Let's see. I can search it really quickly. Super Mario. I only did, okay, so I did Sonic the Hedgehog versus Super Mario Brothers. That was the movie Feuds I did. That was on May 8th of 2020. I did not do a roast of the Super Mario Brothers movie. That'd be really fun. Oh, God. I look so bad in this. Yikes. Fuck. I can't promise it's any good, but I look atrocious. I'll say that much. The green screen and then whatever I was doing just with everything was really bad. So I'm not sure that's worth watching. I was supposed to be done. Gremlins 3 thoughts. Cautiously optimistic. Because I know they're using practical effects again. If they can match kind of the tone of the first movie, bring back some of that quaint charm. All right. Really do a Stranger Things for Gremlins. All right, last super chat of the night, and then I'm Audi 500 or Audi 5000, however you say it. Please make sure to like the stream. I don't know if it does anything, but it doesn't hurt to just hit the like. And then if you somehow are new here, subscribe, I suppose. I don't know what's stumbling in at this point. BAP for the last shot out of a cannon super chat. Thank you. Happy Gilmore 2 and Matrix 4 sucks. Wait, Happy Gilmore 2. Have you seen Happy Gilmore 2? It's not even out yet. Do you have a secret way of watching it early? Or you're just assuming, which is probably a fair assumption at this point. All right, thank you guys very much. Thanks for the congrats. We're business as usual now. We've celebrated. I put out that huge video. We drank the champagne fictitiously. 100,000. You know, the saddest thing is it's really fun watching the numbers go from... It was fun watching the numbers count up every 100. I remember people would message me saying, you have 96.3 now, Adam. You have 96.6. Now we can't even do that with the hundreds because YouTube doesn't count by 100s anymore on the front-facing side of things. So it says I have 100,000 subs right now, when in actuality, I have 100,200 subs. We've grown another 200 since that video. But you don't see that. You don't see the 100.2, which I think is just sad. So now it only counts up by 1,000 increments. I mean, it's the little things that keep me going, and now they've taken another thing away from me. All right, thank you guys very much. Have a great night, and look for the Electric State spoiler tomorrow, a Snow White review, a glowing review, I imagine, coming up down the pipe, and maybe we'll get that Twilight roast finished up just in time for the weekend. Have a good one. We'll see you soon.